Good morning, my students. In the previous class, Coulomb's law has discussed. Today, I am going to start a small topic, continuous charge distribution. A system of closely spaced electric charges forms a continuous charge distribution. At macroscopic level or scale, the number of charges is very large. So practically at this level, it is not feasible to count the number of charges. So, quantization of charges can be easily ignored. Clear? At macroscopic level, there are large number of electric charges, so it is uncountable. We can't count. So ignore the quantization of charge. In other words, it can be said that at macroscopic level, the charges are supposed to take continuous values. Clear? So, kinds of charge density. First, linear charge density. Second, surface charge density. And third, volume charge density. Because there are three types of geometrical shapes. In first, length is important. Another parts, breadth and thickness are negligible with respect to length. In case of area is important and its thickness is negligible. In case of volume, the length, breadth and thickness all are important. We can't ignore. So there are three types of geometrical shapes is possible in a space. So first, linear charge density. It is defined as a charge per unit length is called linear charge density. If a charge Q is uniformly distributed along a line of length L, so then lambda is equal to Q by L. If length BL charge Q is distributed, so then linear charge density lambda is equal to Q upon L. We have to calculate the charge at a small part, a small element of length DL. So then dq charge on a small portion dq is equal to lambda into dl, means q by l into dl. It is a charge on a small portion, and SI unit of linear charge density is Coulomb per meter. Clear? If charge is distributed on a circular ring, its length is 2 pi r, so then lambda is equal to Q upon 2 pi r. And charge on a small length dl, so then dq is equal to q upon 2 pi r into dl. We can write dq is equal to lambda into dl. Clear? Understand? Second, surface charge density. It is defined as charge per unit area. Sigma is equal to q upon a. Q area S, a small part area ds. Sigma is equal to q upon S. S बराबर 4 पाई r स्क्वायर. S is equal to there are different types of geometrical shapes like a square, disc, hollow sphere. So in all cases, area of these geometrical shapes are different. But apply the formula sigma is equal to q upon s, where we have to calculate charge on a small portion of area ds. So then dq is equal to q by s into ds, means sigma into ds. When a charge on a small portion is equal to surface charge density into area of that portion. A unit of surface charge density is coulomb per meter square. Third, volume charge density. It is defined as charge per unit volume. It is denoted by rho. Q upon V, solid sphere, volume V, it is solid sphere. So volume charge density rho is equal to Q upon V. We have to calculate volume at a small part, a small portion of that sphere. So dq is equal to q upon v into dv. We can also write dq is equal to rho into dv, means charge on that portion is equal to volume charge density into volume of that portion, rho into dv. SI unit of volume charge density, coulomb per meter cube. So there are three charge density: linear charge density, surface charge density, and volume charge density. Formula for all charge density: lambda is equal to q upon L, sigma is equal to q upon S, volume charge density q upon V. अगर we have to find linear charge density, so then charge on that portion is equal to linear charge density into length of that small portion. Similarly, charge on the small portion is equal to surface charge density into surface area of the given portion. And in case of volume charge density, the dq is equal to volume charge density into volume of that portion, rho into dv. but dq is equal to lambda into dl, dq is equal to sigma dot ds, and dq is equal to rho into dv. Clear? Force due to continuous distribution of charges. First, linear distribution of charge, it is one dimensional. Consider a straight wire AB of length L on which charge Q is distributed uniformly. Clear? Now see the figure. Length of that wire is L. Charge Q is distributed. A small portion dl, a small portion dl clear. Charge on the element of length dl is given by, so dq is equal to lambda into dl. Lambda into dl, it is the charge density on the small portion of length dl. Clear? Electrostatic force on the charge Q naught placed at a point P at a distance r from the center of the small element of length dl. So we can write df is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq and into q naught by r square into r cap. R square into r cap. It is the electrostatic force due to a small element, a small part. अगर total force on the charge Q naught due to the charge on the whole wire AB is given by, so then F is equal to, when integrating of this equation, dF is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught by R square into dq. Its range 0 to L. Clear? So it is the total force on the charge Q naught due to the charge on the whole wire. Second, surface distribution of charge, it is the two dimensional. Continuously charged Q is distributed on the surface. So then consider a plane sheet of surface area S on which charge Q is distributed uniformly. So now consider a small element of area ds. So then charge on a small element of area ds. So we can write sigma dq is equal to sigma dot ds. In this figure, it is clear. Charge Q is distributed uniformly on the surface of area S and imaging a small portion of area ds. So charge on this portion dq is equal to sigma dot ds. Sigma dot ds. Now electrostatic force on the charge q naught placed at a point P at a distance r from the element is given by, so dF is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught dq into q naught by r square into r cap. On integration, we can find total force acting on q naught due to the charge on the whole surface. Four pi epsilon naught q naught by r square into r cap into dq. 0 से s तक, 0 to s. Last, volume distribution of charge. It is three-dimensional. Consider an object of volume V having charge q which is distributed uniformly over it. Consider a small element of volume dV, so then charge on the element dq is equal to rho into dV. So in this case, dq is equal to rho into dV. Rho into dV. It is the volume of the small portion dV. So charge on that portion dq is equal to rho into dV. Clear? Now electrostatic force acting on q naught due to the charge on the element. So dF is equal to, similarly we can write dF is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq into q naught by r square into r cap into r cap. On integration, total force on q naught due to the charge on the whole volume 0 to V. So dF is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught by r square into r cap into dq 0 to V. So we have to calculate linear distribution of charge, surface distribution of charge, and last volume distribution of charge. It is continuous distribution of charge and distribution of charge on continuous body. So this topic has finished, and another part of this chapter is electric fields. What is electric field? The region or a space around a charged body or a point charge within which its influence can be felt by other charged body या point charge, each called electric field. I am repeating the definition of electric fields. The region or a space around a charged body or a point charge within which its influence can be felt by other charged bodies or point charge is called electric field. The space around the charge in which any other charge experiences a force of attraction or repulsion is called electric field due to a charge. Suppose it is point charge Q surrounding up to point D, charge at D experiences a force of attraction or repulsion. Beyond D, charged particle can't experience a force. They don't experience a force. It is out of field. So imagine a sphere around this point charge. It is the electric field up to which another charged body can experience a force. Clear? The space around the charged particle or body up to which another charged particle can experience a force. Clear? There are two charges. First, source charge and test charge. So test charge acts as a detector. Test charge acts as a detector of the electric field. If a test charge experiences an electric force in a given region, so then the electric field exerts in that region. However, if the test charge does not experience electric force, clear? If the test charge does not experience electric force in a given region, so then the net electric field in that region is zero. My test charge acts as a detector. If it experiences a force, so then the electric field exerts in that region. If it experiences no force, so then the electric field don't exerts in that region. We know that two charges kept at a certain distance apart exert a force on which is given by Coulomb's law. Michael Faraday explained the origin of the force by introducing the concept of electric field. Michael Faraday. Later, the concept of field was extended to explain gravitational force as well as magnetic force. Clear? The concept of electric field characterizes the electrical environment produced by a charge or a system of charges. It refers to a physical quantity which is defined at every point in a space and may vary from point to point. Clear? It is the concept of electric field. I am repeating, concept of electric field characterizes the electrical environment produced by a charge or system of charges. It refers to a physical quantity which is defined at every point in a space and vary from point to point. Next, electric field at a point. It may be defined as the force that a unit positive test charge would experience if placed at that point. माने force experienced by unit positive test charge is known as electric field at that point. If there are two charges, Q and Q naught are separated at a distance r. Electrostatic force between two charges according to Coulomb's law, FBA is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught by R square. Clear from this expression, FBA means force on the charge at B, means B is the position of test charge and another due to charge Q, so Q is the source charge. The first word represents the position of test charge and another represents the position of source charge. Clear? So Q naught is the test charge and Q is the source charge. According to Coulomb's law, FBA is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q into Q naught by R square. By definition, E is equal to F upon Q naught. If Q naught is equal to 1 coulomb, so then E is equal to F. E is equal to F. My electric field E is equal to F upon Q naught. Clear? And if Q naught is equal to 1 coulomb, then E is equal to F of force experienced by unit positive test charge at that point is called electric field at that point. Electric field is a vector quantity and its SI unit is Newton per coulomb. The magnitude of the electric field is also called the electric field intensity at that point. Magnitude of the electric field is known as electric field intensity, intensity of the electric field, intensity of the electric field. It is a vector quantity because it has both magnitude and a specified direction. The direction of electric field intensity is the direction in which a unit positive test charge would move in the electric field. The direction in which a unit positive test charge would move in the electric field. So, electric field intensity has both magnitude as well as a specified direction, so it is a vector quantity. Dimensional formula of E is equal to mlt minus 2 by it, so mlt power minus 3 I power minus 1. So dimensional formula of E is mlt power minus 3 I power minus 1. So when source charge it at the origin, so F is equal to Q naught into E. We have to calculate electric field due to a point charge. Due to point charge Q. So force experienced by charge Q naught due to charge Q, F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught by R square into R cap. By the definition, E is equal to F upon Q naught. So putting the value of F in equation first. So E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught by R square into Q naught. Q naught cancel out. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. माने FBA is also equal to F is equal to F upon Q naught is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square into R cap. It is the formula in terms of source charge. E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square. Q is the source charge. In terms of test charge, E is equal to F upon Q naught, where Q naught is the test charge. If the source charge Q is negative, so the electric field at P will point from Q naught to Q, that is radially towards the source charge. और if negative charge, तो क्या attractive? Radially inward. Thus, we conclude that electric field at a point due to positive charge is directed radially outward, but due to a negative charge, it points radially towards the source charge. So the direction of electric field intensity is along the increasing direction of R vector or radially outwards. When R tends to infinity, so then E tends to 0. So thus electric field due to a point source charge has infinite range. E proportional 1 by R square. R tends to infinity, so then E by infinity tends to 0. So electric field due to a point source charge has infinite range. Both are positive, so radially outwards, radially inwards. Direction of force always acting the line joining the two charges. So electric field also acts along the line joining the two charges. Thank you. In next class we will discuss electric field due to an electric dipole.